Good morning, dear students. This is Mallikarjun, lecturer in English, Government Degree College for Women, Nalgonda. As a part of online teaching, today we will see parts of speech in English grammar. Parts of speech are the most important topic in English. It is there even in Telugu also. In every language, parts of speech will be there. Whether it is English or Telugu or Hindi, whatever may be the language. So, in Telugu, it is called Bhasha Bhagalu. What is the definition of parts of speech? Due to the nature of the words, words are divided into 8 parts called parts of speech. So once again, due to the nature of the words, words are divided into 8 parts called parts of speech. In English, every word has its own nature. As human beings, we have different nature. Based on the nature, human beings are divided into different types. In the same way, in English, every word has its own nature. Based on the nature of the word, words are divided into 8 parts. Those are called parts of speech. Those 8 parts are called parts of speech. But in Telugu, we have only 5 parts of speech. In Telugu, we have only 5 parts of speech. They are Namavachakamu, Sarvanamamu, Kriya, Visheshanamu, Avyayamu. But in English, we have 8 parts of speech. Those are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. The 8 parts of speech are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. As you all know that noun which tells about which is called in Telugu Namavachakamu, pronoun is called Sarvanamamu, verb is called Kriya, adjective is called Visheshanamu. Adverb we may not find in parts of speech, but it is there in Telugu grammar. Adverb is called Kriya Visheshanamu. And preposition also we may not get in parts of speech in Telugu, but it will be there in Telugu grammar also. That is, preposition means Vibhaktulu. Conjunction also we may not get it in parts of speech, but it will be there in Telugu grammar. That is called Samuchayamu. And interjection, it is there in parts of speech, the last one of parts of speech even in Telugu and even in English. That is, interjection means Avyayamu. So these are the 8 parts of speech which we have in English grammar. So due to the nature of the words, words are divided into 8 parts called parts of speech. Okay, they are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So now let us see the definition of noun. What is noun? So noun. Generally, noun is a word which tells about the names of persons, places, things, and animals. Okay, noun is a word which tells about the names of persons, places, things, and animals. We can say different types of pronoun definitions. Noun is a word which denotes the names and whatever it may be, whether it is the name of a person or whether it is the name of a place, whether it is the name of a thing or whether it is the name of an animal. It tells about names. So just I would like to simplify the definition of a noun. Any naming word is called noun. Any naming word is called noun. It's very simple to learn for everyone. So any naming word it indicates name. So in Telugu also we say పేర్లను తెలిపేది నామాలను తెలిపేది నామవాచకము. పేర్లను తెలిపేది నామవాచకం. In the same way, it tells about the names. So we say that any naming word is called noun. Examples for noun: Rama, Nalgonda, tiger, and bench, etc. Like that we will get. You see about Rama, this is the name of a person. Nalgonda, you see it's the name of a place. Tiger, this is the name of an animal. Bench, it's the name of a thing. So like that we have the different examples for noun. Or you can take Rama, Sita, Geeta, Gopi, and your name itself comes under the noun. Nalgonda, Hyderabad. Okay, like that you will get Delhi, Bombay. Like that we will get the places names. Animals. Okay, in animals we get tiger and parrot, and you take about elephant, ant. All these are comes under nouns itself. Animals and things, book, pen. All this comes under noun. So in noun we have number. English grammar is closely related to Telugu grammar. If you master one grammar, automatically the second language grammar will come very easily. We have the same number even in Telugu also. In Telugu we call them vachanalu. There are two numbers in English. In the same way, there are two numbers in Telugu also. What are the two numbers in Telugu? Ekavachanamu, Bahuvachanamu. In the same way, in English, the two numbers are singular number and plural number. Singular number and plural number are the two numbers. You can take any language in the world, there will be two numbers only, except Sanskrit. I think if you, many of you may have studied in your intermediate level Sanskrit, there you will find three numbers in Sanskrit. What are the three numbers? Same way, Ekavachanamu, Dvivachanamu, Bahuvachanamu. Ekavachanamu, Dvivachanamu, Bahuvachanamu. Dvivachanamu means two. Okay, like that it will be there for number. Okay, there are two numbers in English. They are singular number and plural number. So generally noun will have the number. Noun will have the number. So what are the two numbers in noun? Singular noun and plural noun. We call them singular noun and plural noun. What is singular noun? If there is only one, that is called singular. If there is only one, there should be one place, one thing, one person, okay, or one animal. So like that, only one should be there. For example, pen, book, cat, dog, bench, box. These are the singular numbers. Okay, all these are singular. Pen singular, book singular, cat singular, dog singular, bench singular, box singular. You take about plural. More than one is called plural. More than one is called plural. Sometimes we can say two or more than two. Two also plural and more than two also plural. In the same way, more than one is, we can say that more than one is called plural. So example for plural nouns: pens, books, cats, dogs, benches, boxes. These are the plurals. You see the examples here, you can easily understand. Pen, pens, book, books, cat, cats, dog, dog, bench, benches, box, boxes. Do you find anything? Do you find anything similarity there? Yes, there is similarity. How did we get the plural noun? We got the plural noun by adding s or es to the singular. You see the difference between singular and plural. For pen, we added s. Book, we added s. Cat, we added s. Dog, we added s. Bench, we added es. Box, we added es. So we have understood one thing, that if we add s or es to the singular, automatically the singular noun will become plural noun. Okay, then we can write a note there. We can frame a rule. What is the rule? By adding s or es to the singular, we get plural noun. By adding s or es to the singular noun, we get plural noun. Immediately a thing was came to our mind. What is that? If a noun ends with s or es, blindly we will say that is plural noun. But in all times it is not possible. In all times it is not possible. The regular nouns only will get s or es. The regular nouns only we will get s or es. There are some irregular nouns will be there. For irregular nouns, it's not possible. Just simply by adding SRES, we cannot get. For example, you take about wife, WIFE, wife. What is the plural for it? Generally, in our mind, by adding SRES, we get plural. So immediately we will say wives, WIFES, wives. It's wrong. There is no word called wives in English language. So F becomes V in plural. Immediately, we have to remember that F becomes V in plural. So wife singular, wives plural. In the same way, knife, knives, life, lives. Okay. In the same way, thief, thieves, leaf, leaves. Okay. So like that, we have to make F becomes V. It is not simply by adding SRES. We cannot get plural. I'll give some examples. What is the plural for deer? DEER, deer. Don't say deer. Okay? Deer. Generally we say SRES. No, we have to add for plural deers. No, there is no word called deers. Deer, the plural itself, deer. Deer, deer. Sheep, sheep itself. Sheep, sheep. Deer, deer. So like that we get. What is the plural for child? We can't say childs. Generally, we will say children, children's. There is no word called children even. Children itself plural. Then what is the singular for plural? Child, child, children. Child, children. We will get like that. What is the plural for ox? Immediately we will say oxes. There is no word called oxes in English language. What is the plural for ox? Then we have to remember oxen. Oxen, we have to add en to the singular, then we get plural. So like that here we will get singulars and plurals. And some other things are there. We take about men, men, men's, men, men's, no, man, men's, man, men. Okay, we have to remember. So not by adding man, man's, men itself plural. So singular will be man. So man, men, woman, women. These are the different types of singular nouns and plural nouns. So up to that, whatever it may be, there will be a broad rule in our English, that is plural nouns will take SRES, but there are some singular nouns in English exemptions. There will be exemption. In economics, you may have studied the exemptions. Exemptions will be there for everything. So here nouns will also exemptions for having plural. So all SRES nouns means the nouns which end with SRES may not be plural always. Sometimes singular nouns will also take SRES. You see some singular nouns. I'll tell you some singular nouns. In English, some singular nouns look like plural nouns. In English, some singular nouns look like plural nouns, but we cannot get plural for these nouns. These nouns are always singular nouns. There will not be any plural for them. So generally up to now we have seen the singular noun and plural noun. For singular we have plural, for plural we have singular. But the nouns which we are going to see here are always singular nouns, but look like plural nouns. We cannot get a plural for these nouns. These nouns are always singular nouns. Example, you take about economics as a subject. Economics, physics, statistics, matrix, dynamics, phonetics, all these are the nouns which end with SRES. Okay, you see economics here, what is there at the end? S is there. What is there at the end? S is there. So generally we are under the impression that it is a plural noun. So we have to say economics are. No, economics are is 100% wrong. We have to say economics is. Generally we say boys are. Boys plural ending with S. So we got R. But here economics is singular. Though it ends with S, we have to use singular B form is. Okay, you see about some names of the diseases: mumps, rickets, measles, AIDS, SARS. These are the names. Diabetics, tuberculosis. These are the names of the diseases. All these end with S, but always singular, no plural form for it. Even you take about games, caroms, chess, tennis, athletics, aerobics, all these nouns are ending with SRES. But these nouns are all singular nouns itself. We cannot get a plural for these nouns. In the same way, some plural nouns are there. Some plural nouns are there. These plural nouns, here in the above we have seen the singular nouns but no plural form. Now we will see some plural nouns without singular form. Okay, in English, some plural nouns are always plural nouns. We cannot get singular form in English to them. But in our mother tongue, these nouns will have this is the major drawback to us, because there will be the impact of our mother tongue on the language which we are going to learn, or the foreign language. When we are learning English, definitely there will be the impact of our mother tongue. That is called MTI. MTI. MTI means mother tongue influence. Here the target language which we are going to learn is English. So whenever we speak English, automatically there will be the impact of our mother tongue influence will be there. Mother tongue, that is called MTI. So you see these nouns. These nouns are these nouns can take singular and plural form in Telugu or in Hindi or in Urdu, but here always plural nouns. Always plural nouns. We cannot get singular in English. For example, you take about spectacles. Spectacles. Telugu, in Telugu we call them kallajodu. Kallajodu singular. Plural కండ్లజోడ్లు. లాస్ట్కు లూ వాడు యాడ్ చేస్తాం ప్లూరల్. ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఎస్ యాడ్ చేసినట్టు తెలుగులో లూ యాడ్ చేస్తాం. కళ్ళజోడులు. ఓకే, సింగులర్ ఉంది, ప్లూరల్ ఉంది. బట్ హియర్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్, ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఈస్ వన్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు సే spectacles. If you have 10, you have to say spectacles itself. You take about pants. Generally we say pant. If there is one, don't say pant. There is no word called pant, spectacle, scissor, like that. All are yes. Pants. Even if there is one, you have to say pants. Even scissors also. If there is one, we will say scissor. పక్కింటికి పోయి అడిగి వస్తాం, ఆంటీ మమ్మీ సిజర్ ఏమంటుంది అని. సిజర్, వాట్ ఈస్ సిజర్? దెర్ ఇస్ నో వర్డ్ సిజర్. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ సిజర్స్. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఈస్ వన్, వీ హ్యావ్ టు సే సిజర్స్. కటింగ్ ప్లేయర్స్, tangos, shorts, trousers, all these are plural nouns. Because of our mother tongue influence, we will be confused. Mother tongue influence will be there on every language. For example, as we are Telugu speakers, the Telugu influence will be there on English. Because in Telugu, for every sentence, we end with కొమ్ము, do. కొమ్ము యాడ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. కలకట్టు దీర్ఘంలో ఉన్న కొమ్ము. వచ్చిండు కొమ్ము, పోయిండు, తిన్నాడు, తాగిండు, సచ్చిండు, బతికిండు, అన్నిటికీ డు. అందుకనే ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏం చేస్తాము? వి డోంట్ సే గోయింగ్, వి సే గోయింగు, కమింగు, ఈటింగు, డ్రింకింగు. గు, దట్ కొమ్ము ఈజ్ నాట్ దేర్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. The English, we have to cut going, coming, eating, drinking, singing, like that we have to cut. In Urdu also, mother tongue influence will be there. When Urdu people speak English, how they speak, I will say one example. Generally, we will say school, SCHOOL, school. But the Muslims will say school, school. Because in Hindi, they always use isku, usku, isku, usku అని యూజ్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి ఆ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ వచ్చి స్కూల్ అంటారు. బికాస్ to break the consonant cluster. There will be consonant cluster. So like that, the singular and plural will be there. Okay. So why do we call them plural noun? Very simple. You have to remember one thing. Spectacles, pants, scissors, cutting pliers. Why do we call them plural? If you closely observe these nouns, immediately you will understand. Because I'll say one clue. All these nouns are made up of by two equal parts. The two equal parts will become one. You take about spectacles. కళ్ళజోడు తీసుకోండి, మధ్యలో కిరాక్ కొడితే రెండు ఈక్వల్ పార్ట్స్ వస్తాయా రావా? వస్తాయి. యు టేక్ అబౌట్ సిజర్స్, మధ్యలో బోల్ట్ తీయండి, రెండు కత్తులు వస్తాయి చేతికి. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే ప్యాంట్స్. సో లైక్ దట్ we will get these nouns are made up of by two equal parts. These nouns are made up of by two equal parts. Okay. In the same way, nouns we divide them into two types. They are countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns and uncountable nouns. What are the countable nouns? Very simple. The title itself indicates the meaning. Countable, which we can count. Countable means which we can count are called count nouns. Example: pen, book, boy, girl, elephant, door, dog, bag. All these are countable. We will count them. Then uncountable. What is uncountable? Which we cannot count are called uncountable nouns. The title indicates uncountable means which is not possible to count. Okay. Immediately, what are the uncountable nouns? Immediate the answer the students will get stars. No. Stars are countable nouns. Can't you give number? Can't you count at least 10 stars? Easily we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When we are able to give the number to the noun, automatically that noun will become countable noun. If it is not possible to give the number, those are called uncountable nouns. Example: water. Can you give number to water? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 water, 2 water, no. Gold, 1 gold, 2 gold, no. Okay. Generally, immediately you got an idea. Sir, water we count, no sir. 2 బిందెలు, 3 బిందెలు, 4 బిందెలు, 2 లీటర్లు, 3 లీటర్లు, 10 లీటర్లు. Like that you will say. We are counting the liters, we are counting the bottles, we are counting the buckets, we are counting the parts, but not the water. You take about gold also in the same way. Gold, you take about, can you count? It can be weighed. 10 grams, 5 grams, 20 grams, 1 kg, 2 kg. We are counting the grams and kgs, but not the gold, 1 gold, 2 gold, like that. As we counted stars, as we counted elephants, as we counted human beings, as we counted boys, as we counted girls. So it is not possible to give number to them. You take about air. Can we count the air? No, it's impossible to count the air because even it is invisible noun. How can we count it? The visible nouns itself we are not able to count. How can we count the invisible air? Knowledge. Can you count the knowledge? Is it possible? This noun will not have any shape to count. It is invisible. Happiness, sadness, sorrowness, kindness, all these are invisible nouns, which we cannot count are called uncountable nouns. So we have seen up to now countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Now we will see the types of nouns. The types of nouns. There are 5 types of nouns in English. There are 5 types of nouns in English. Proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. Once again, I'll say, listen carefully. Proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, abstract noun. Okay. Proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun. These 4 nouns are called concrete nouns. Abstract noun is different. These 4 are different. The first 4 are called concrete nouns and visible nouns. Concrete means visible, which we can see. Abstract noun, invisible, we can't see them. Okay, whatever it may be, we will see the definitions one by one. Okay, now first we will see the types of nouns. In types of nouns, the first one is proper noun. What is proper noun? Proper noun. It tells about the names of a particular person or a particular place or a particular thing or a particular animal name. It tells about the particular name. Example, Sita, Geeta, Raju, Gopi, particular name of a person or place. We take about place, Nalgonda, Hyderabad, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, okay, America, Russia, China. These are the names of places. So it tells about the names of persons or places. Particular name of a person. Proper means సొంతం. ప్రాపర్ అంటే ఏంటి? సొంత పేరు అన్నట్టు. ఓకే, మీకు ఇమీడియట్ గా డౌట్ వస్తుంది, డాగ్ సొంత పేరేనా సార్? నో, డాగ్ we will give some names to the dogs. For example, I will say Jimmy, Julie, Bunny. Okay, these are the names of persons which we give for dogs. We take about things, fan. Fan is not proper noun. It is not the name of the fan. We have to say the what is proper noun. Orient fan, Usha fan, Ganga ceiling fan. So Ganga, Usha, these are the names of those companies. Those are nothing but the names of persons. The second one is common noun. The second one is common noun. Common noun means it tells about the names of a kind of people or a class of people. A kind of people or a class of people. ఒక తరగతికి లేదా ఒక రకానికి చెందిన వారికి ఉండేటువంటి పేరునే కామన్ నౌన్ అని చెప్పి అంటారు. ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ద కామన్ నౌన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, బాయ్, గర్ల్, డాగ్, ఫ్యాన్, ఓకే, డ్రైవర్, కండక్టర్, టీచర్, లాయర్. ఓకే, ఆల్ దీస్ ఆర్ బాయ్, ఆల్ ఆర్ బాయ్స్. డాగ్, మీ ఇంట్లో ఉన్నది కుక్కే, మా ఇంట్లో ఉన్నది కుక్కే. కుక్కలన్నీ ఒక రకం, బాయ్స్ అంతా ఒక రకం, గర్ల్స్ అంతా ఒక రకం, కండక్టర్స్ అంతా ఒక రకం, టీచర్స్ అంతా ఒక రకం, లాయర్స్ ఆల్ ఆర్ వన్ టైప్. ఓకే, immediately you can recognize the lawyers by seeing all are lawyers itself. They will have their own name, that is proper noun. But the people, those who are with stethoscope are called doctor. All are doctors itself. Laya doctor, Malaya doctor, Pulaya doctor, everyone is doctor because they are having stethoscope. But they will have their own name, that is proper noun. This is common noun. You take about minister, king, river. The rivers will have its own name, no? Ganga, Yamuna, Narmada, Tapati, Brahmaputra, like that. These are all the proper nouns. So the floating water are called rivers. The floating water are called rivers. So like that we call them common noun. And then collective noun. Immediately, if you observe the titles very carefully, easily you can get the definition. What is collective means? Kalisi undadamu. Collective ante కలిసి ఒక కట్టుగా ఉండడము అన్నట్టు. సో హియర్ కలెక్టివ్, ఏ గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ టేకెన్ యాజ్ వన్. A group of things taken as one is called collective noun. Example, bunch of grapes, bunch of grapes, bunch of keys, bunch of keys. Bunch of keys means, bunch of keys means తాళపు చెవుల గుత్తి. You see here there are bunch, so these are called bunch of keys. So bunch of keys, bunch of bananas, bunch of grapes, and bunch of flowers. So like that we will say. And army, committee, okay, cattle, crowd. These are all crowd, one crowd. There will be 100 members will be there. So 100 members come together will become a crowd. In committee there will be 4, 5, 6 or 7 members will be there. We will say 3-man committee. The 3 members will become one committee. You take about team. If you go to cricket, there will be 11 members. These 11 members will become one team itself. So this is called collective noun. And then material noun. What is material noun? It tells about the names of substances. It tells about the names of substances. It tells about the names of substances. Tells about the names of substances. పదార్థాల పేర్లను తెలియజేసే అటువంటివి అని చెప్పి చెప్తుంది. So you take about what are the substances? Iron, gold, copper, silver, wood, piece of chalk. Don't say chalk piece of chalk. All these are called substances. All these are called substances. Simply remember, there will not be any plural form for them. There will not be any plural form for them. Gold, golds ఉండదు. ప్లూరల్ ఉంటుందా? బంగారం, బంగారాలు తెలుగులోనే ఉంటుందా? Is it possible even in Telugu? No. బంగారం, బంగారాలు, ఇనుము, ఇనుములు. No, there will not be any plural. And all the above up to we have seen proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun. These are all visible nouns. We can see them. We can see them with our eyes. Now the last one we are going to deal with abstract noun. We are going to deal with abstract noun. Abstract nouns are invisible nouns. Abstract nouns are invisible nouns. We can't see them. We can't see them. So these nouns are called invisible nouns. We can't see them. If ఇంకా క్లియర్ గా చూస్తే these nouns are shapeless nouns. These nouns are shapeless nouns. Example: knowledge, happiness, sadness, braveness. All these are called abstract nouns. Can you see happiness? You will see a person who is happy, but you can't see the happiness, the shape of happiness, the shape of sadness. These are all feelings. The happiness is a feeling, sadness is a feeling. It is invisible. So like that, the types of nouns will be there. So up to now, we have completed noun. Once again, just I'll give the brief introduction to noun. What is noun? Any naming word is called noun. Okay. Number. Noun will have number. There are two numbers, singular number and plural number. What is singular? Only one is called singular. What is plural? More than one is called plural. What is the note for number? By adding SRES to the singular, we get plural. By adding SRES to the singular, we get plural. But there are some exemptions. Some singular nouns are there, some plural nouns are there, some countable nouns are there, some uncountable nouns are there. Now let us see what is some singular nouns. In English, some singular nouns look like plural nouns, but we cannot get plural form for these nouns. These nouns are always singular nouns. Example, we have seen economics, civics, physics, mumps, measles, like that. And then some diseases, some games, like that, all these things will be there. Okay. And then some plural nouns. These nouns are always plural nouns. We cannot get a singular form for these nouns. These nouns are always plural nouns. Example, spectacles, scissors. Okay. These nouns are made up of by two equal parts. Okay. Count nouns, which we can count or count nouns, which we cannot count or called uncountable nouns. There are 5 types of nouns: proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. Proper noun, common noun, collective noun, material noun, and abstract noun. Proper noun, particular name of a person. Common noun, it tells about the names of a kind of people or class of people. Collective noun, it tells about the names of a group of things taken as one. Material noun, it tells about the names of substances. It tells about the names of substances. And then the last one, abstract noun. These nouns are invisible nouns. We cannot see them. So this is the noun. Now let us see what is pronoun. Pronoun is closely related to noun. Pronoun is closely related to noun. What is the definition of pronoun? This is the definition. Now let us see what is pronoun. It is used instead of noun. It is used instead of noun. Pronoun is a word which is used in the place of noun. Which is used in the place of noun. What is the use of pronoun? Why do we use the pronoun in the sentences? Is it not possible to use noun? We can use the noun, no? Why should we get all these disturbances? We have to learn all these grammar parts. Okay. The use of pronoun, let us see. It avoids the repetition of same noun again and again in the sentences. It avoids the repetition of same noun again and again in the sentences. Okay. It is inconvenient to the speaker to repeat the same noun again and again in the sentences. So, it is used in the place of noun. It is used instead of noun. For the first time we use noun, and the remaining all times we use pronoun. Okay. What are the pronouns in English? I, we, you, they, he, she, it are called pronouns. Total pronouns in English language, I, we, you, they, he, she, it. It should be like a rhyme. Rhythmically we have to say. Then we will not forget them. Come on, say once. I, we, you, they, he, she, it. Once again, I, we, you, they, he, she, it. This is called pronoun. Okay? Right. For noun, we divided singular and plural. It is quite natural for pronoun also, because it is used in the place of noun. We have to use singular pronoun in the place of singular noun. We have to use plural pronoun in the place of plural noun. It means that pronoun should be divided into number. There are two numbers, singular number and plural number in English. So he, she, it are called singular pronouns. He, she, it are called singular pronouns. We, you, they are called plural pronouns. We, you, they are called plural pronouns. Then what is about I? In English, I is royal pronoun. In English, I is royal pronoun because sometimes it works as singular and sometimes it works as plural. Sometimes it works as plural. Yes? Sometimes it works as singular and sometimes it works as plural. In be forms, it is singular. And in have forms and do forms and remaining all places, it is plural. As it is singular in be forms, it will have a separate be form for itself. The own be form it will have. That is am. Am is the be form which is kind to use only with am. That is why it is called royal pronoun. Okay? Right. From pronoun, we divide persons. From pronoun, we divide persons. How many persons are there? How many persons are there? There are three persons in English. There are three persons in English. They are first person, second person, and third person. First person, second person, and third person. In first person, which pronouns do we get? In first person, we get I and we. I, we are called first person pronouns. Then in second person, we get you only. You is called second person. But in third person, we get he, she, it, they. He, she, it, they are called third person. Exclusively, he, she, it are called third person singular pronouns. The very, very, very important. Third person singular pronouns. He, she, it. Again, you will get them in simple present tense, because there will be a rule in simple present tense that if the subject is third person singular, then we have to add SRES to the first form of a verb. So there you will get again this third person singular pronouns. So you have to remember that he, she, it are called third person singular pronouns. Okay, due to the, I think you may have understood the pronoun and persons is finished. Now we are going to see types of pronouns. Now we are going to see types of pronouns. Due to the nature of the pronouns, pronouns can work as four types. Due to the nature of the pronouns, pronouns can work as four types. Those are subject of pronoun, object of pronoun, possessives, and self pronouns. I would like to simplify them. Subject of pronoun, object of pronoun, possessives, and self pronouns. All the pronouns will come from these pronouns itself. The basic pronouns are I, we, you, they, he, she, it. From these only subject of pronouns will come, object of pronouns will come, possessives come, and self pronouns also come. Okay, the four types of pronouns are subject of pronoun, object of pronoun, possessives, and self pronoun. First, let us see subject of pronouns. Subject of pronouns always used as subject only. We will get them only in the beginning of the sentence. We can't get subject of the pronoun in the middle of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. What are the subject of pronouns? I, we, you, they, he, she, it are called subject of pronouns. For every subject, there will be an object. For every subject, there will be an object. So that is why we call them object of pronouns. Object of pronouns. For example, you take about I is the subject. Immediately, me is the object for it. We, us, you only. They, them, he, him, she, her, it. These are the objects. Okay. Me, us, you, them, him, her, it are called object of pronoun. We cannot get the object of pronoun in the beginning of the sentence. We get them only in the middle of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. Okay. Now we have possessives. These possessives will come from the subject of pronouns itself. Okay. I is the subject, and what is the possessive for it? Possessive, what is the meaning of possessive? It tells about the ownership, possession, kaligi undadamu, having. That is called possession. You take about I, my, na yokka, my ownership, my pen. I am the owner of the pen, my pen, my book. Okay, my brother, my sister, my father, like that, my college, my students, like that it will be. Okay. For we have possession our. For we have our. And then you, your. They, their. He, his. For she, her. For it, its. And then last one, self pronoun. Why do we call it self pronoun? Very simple. All these pronouns will come with self. At the end of that pronoun, we will have self. For example, I, myself. We, ourselves. For you, yourselves. For they, themselves. For he, himself. For she, herself. For it, itself. Do you know the meanings of these pronouns in Telugu? I ante nenu, we ante మేము లేదా మనము, you ante నీవు లేదా మీరు, they ante వారు, he ante అతడు, she ante ఆమె, it ante ఇది లేదా అది. తెలుగులో కొంచెం కష్టం, ఇంగ్లీష్ ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఈజీ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. ద మీనింగ్స్ విల్ బి సంవాట్ ఆడ్ ఇన్ తెలుగు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ మీ ఇన్ తెలుగు? You see, you will be confused. You are not able to say the meaning of Telugu. Very simple. Me means నన్ను. We will say నేను అనే చెప్తారు. కాబట్టి మీ అంటే నన్ను. We, us. What is the meaning of us? మమ్ముల్ని లేదా మనల్ని. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ లో మళ్ళా యు ఉంది. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ యు? నిన్ను లేదా మిమ్ముల్ని. దెమ్, వారిని. హిమ్, అతన్ని. హర్, ఆమెని. ఇట్, అతన్ని, దీన్ని లేదా దాన్ని. యు టేక్ అబౌట్ పొసెసివ్స్ మీనింగ్. మై, నా యొక్క. అవర్, మన యొక్క లేదా మా యొక్క. యువర్, నీ యొక్క లేదా మీ యొక్క. దేర్, వారి యొక్క. హిజ్, అతని యొక్క. హర్, మళ్ళా హర్, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ హర్రే, పొసెసివ్ కూడా హర్రే. హర్, ఆమె యొక్క. ఇట్స్, దాని యొక్క లేదా దీని యొక్క. ద లాస్ట్ వన్, సెల్ఫ్ ప్రొనౌన్. ఈ సెల్ఫ్ ప్రొనౌన్ తెలుగు మీనింగ్ చుట్టినట్టే ఉంటుంది. యు సీ అగైన్, మై సెల్ఫ్, నాకు నేను. వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ ఎంజాయిడ్ ద మూవీ మై సెల్ఫ్. I enjoyed the journey myself. I enjoyed the teaching myself. Though you may not enjoy or not, but I am enjoying what I am saying. So myself, ourselves, మాకు మేము, we enjoyed ourselves. అట్లా. Okay, what is the meaning of myself? నాకు నేను, ourselves మీకు మీరు, yourselves నీకు నీవు మీకు మీరు, themselves వారికి వారే, హిమ్సెల్ఫ్ అతనికి అతనే, హర్సెల్ఫ్ ఆమెకు ఆమె, ఇట్సెల్ఫ్ దీనికి ఇదే దానికి అది. సో లైక్ దట్ we have the different types of pronouns. So today we have learnt nouns and pronouns. I hope that you may have understood. Okay, if not, once again you go through the video from the beginning. It will be very simple and very elaborated, so that easily you can understand. So in the next class we will see the remaining parts of speech. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day. Bye. See you. Okay, we will meet in the next class tomorrow. Bye.